Hello, hello. It looks
Hello.
alive.
Perfect.
Hi. Mhm.
Hello. Welcome to all of you who are watching. This is a press conference for the upcoming match in the Decus Pro. We are here with two of those competitors, Chris Joubert, who is the #1 player in Frisco, and Chris Lee, who is a rising star in Dallas.
Yes. Yes.
Chris Lee is undefeated so far, and he's already beaten our top player in the league, Ashton Cook. So rising star in this league. I believe Chris is ranked #4 right now in the league. So guys, welcome. Glad you could join us. Um,
Let's check those audios. Are they working?
yes, yes. Microphones are muted.
Yes. It's great.
Okay.
There's nothing between you two, really. Just a few
Yeah.
points.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't even know why my microphone keep muting
There you go.
automatically. I don't know this
Yeah.
shit.
Okay.
Very
Okay.
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 There we go.
Guys, this is your first time meeting each other too, isn't it?
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
All right. Well, please be introduced. And have you seen
Hello.
each other play yet?
No.
I don't think so.
Ooh.
No.
Ooh. Well, both of you have matches on YouTube, so if you
Mm-hmm.
want to do some scouting, you'll
Yeah.
definitely have an opportunity to do that. But
Okay.
both of you guys also have been classified as having the same playing style. So
Okay.
both of you very decisive, efficient, favorite spots. When you attack the basket, you're taking a linear path and you don't do a whole lot of fakes, whole lot of dribbles. It's get to the basket and score. Um,
Correct.
wow, you haven't seen each other play.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
I
no,
have
I don't think so.
Okay. Okay, Chris Lee, how tall are you?
6'7".
6'7". Okay.
Yeah.
So Chris Lee he's undefeated. He's 6'7", great footwork, great shot blocker. What are you gonna do to get shots off over this guy?
Just gonna play ball. I mean, that's what we both came to do. So we're just gonna have to take the skills that we already know and just put them to work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's
And
not
Chris
really.
Lee, um, Chris J was the first player to win a match in 3 rounds. Actually, it was 3.5 rounds. We call that a knockout. When you beat
Okay.
an opponent by scoring three, 4 pointers and you end the match in 3 rounds, we call that a knockout. Chris J
Mm-hmm.
was the first player to do that. So he's a killer at that 4 point spot.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do to take that away when he's got you out at half court? So you got to commit. But if you commit and he gets you up in the air, he's going to the basket for the score. How are you going to manage that?
I think I just have to guard up. It's really dependent upon what I notice like during warm-ups or what I notice after like the first few possessions in regards to can you shoot going to your opposite hand? Can you shoot going to your strong hand? What your like your favorite two counters are. But I probably just have to guard up similar to similar to guarding an Ashton or a shooter or another shooter in the league because they can make 4-point shots consistently.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, I want to share keys to victory for
Mm-hmm.
both of you guys, and then you can tell me what you think about these.
Oh wow,
Okay, can
it's
you see
great.
that?
Yeah, I'm gonna pinch it in to get a bigger view. Yep, I see them
Okay,
right now.
okay. So we'll take them by category.
Hmm.
Um, so Chris Lee, for yours first on offense, keys to victory. We have you have to that shot has to fall. Got to
Yeah.
so you take a lot of shots from that favorite spot on the wings. That shot has to fall for you. The
Hmm.
deep shot has to be there to open up the rest of your offense.
Correct.
Second one, will you be able to score at the basket if Chris J takes away your deep shot? So
Hmm.
we have a size advantage versus a height advantage, and what's going to happen when those two collide at the basket?
Right.
And then keys to victory on defense. Will you be able to stay on top of Chris J's 4 point threat without giving up points off the drive? Because as I've said, once you're out there guarding at half court, if they get you up in the air, they have an open lane to the basket. Very hard
Correct.
to catch up and defend that. So on defense, it'll be interesting to see how you manage that, how you guard that.
Right.
Second one, can you defend against Chris J's turnaround jumper? I'm thinking this is going to be a big factor in this match because you have the height advantage, you're a shot blocker. It'll be interesting to see if Chris J can get that turnaround jumper to go over
Okay.
you.
Right.
Um, he's got a nice turnaround jumper, and he'll sell you a fake. If you go for that fake, he's shooting on the other side of you. And then
Correct.
three, can you overcome the size advantage in the low post?
Right.
And next one, what to watch out for, Chris J shooting over the top of Chris. This, I was thinking, if you're able to get the shot off, like you shoot over the top of a lot of guys, even the guy who is taller than you, Vlad, when you played against him, you shot over the top of him.
Right.
If you're able to do that against Chris J, I think it's going to be a tough match for Chris J.
Okay.
And then the next one, what will happen when the two of you meet at the basket? And you have height advantage versus size advantage.
Right.
All right. So any comments on your keys to victory there?
No, I think
Offense,
that's a very thorough assessment. I mean, I'm a shooter, so I mean, if shots don't go in, that would be very problematic. You know, whether that's coming off. Well, this is one-on-one. This is not coming off of a screen, but if shots don't, you know, like if Steph Curry doesn't make shots, you know, people will just play off of him, similar to Ben Simmons, and you know, the lane can get clogged and they can mess the offense up. So you have to make shots, and that's definitely a big factor for me.
Yeah. All right. And Chris J, any thoughts on the keys to victory for offense, defense for Chris Lee?
No, honestly, just like I said, I'm just, you know, looking forward to, you know, matching up against him and, you know, having a good, you know, battle. That's what I love to do. I love the battle. I love the challenge. You know, so that's really what I'm looking forward to.
Nice.
Well, if you win this match, you'll give him his first loss because right now he's climbing. He's climbing fast up the ranks. So keys to victory for you, Chris J. Can you get I'm sorry, let's see, on defense. That needs to be switched around. So keys to victory for you on defense will be, can you get Chris Lee out of his game? Because Gen Core guys have favorite spots, and so if you can disrupt that and have them taking shots from spots that they don't usually like to shoot from, then that gives you an advantage. Can you deny him his favorite spots, those two wings? And then also, since Gen Core guys don't do all the fancy ball handling, if you can force him into handling the ball more than he'd like to, that would be an advantage for you as well. And then, can you stop Chris Lee at the basket? Because he's shown that he can score in and around the basket. He can do the reverse layup. He can dunk. He can go straight up with the tap the backboard, finger roll. Keys to victory for you on defense will be those. And then on offense, your shot has to be there. You gave us an exciting match when you played Jay Knight. Actually, both of those matches when your shot wasn't falling, but somehow you managed to win that game.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
shot has to
that was
fall.
definitely
What do you do when the shot's not falling and you got to get back in the game and the other guy's scoring? How do you usually manage that?
Is that directed towards Chris J or Chris Lee?
Yeah, Chris J.
Okay.
Just thinking more about those two matches against Jay Knight when the shot wasn't falling and then he started falling behind. Jay had match point. Chris, kind of talk us through that.
I mean, honestly, I just have to trust what I do. You know, even if it's not working in the moment, I try not to get rattled in the sense of, you know, taking my own self out of my game. You know, I try to just make sure that, you know, I just stick to the plan. You know, sometimes, yeah, you know, in certain situations, if the shot's not falling, you got to do other things. But at the same time, you still got to trust what you do. And that's what I had to do. I just had to trust what I knew I was capable of, you know, in those situations that I was in those two matches. You know, ones really weren't going to help me, you know. So, I mean, yeah, I could have gotten a layup anytime I wanted to, but I was already down, you know, 4 or 5 possessions. So at that point, you live by the 3, you die by the 3. So it was either live or die by one of those. So that's what I had to do. And like I say, he had me down 10-2. And I just had to trust my shot and come back and win that game.
You did it in dramatic fashion because he was all over you, and so somehow that 4-pointer went in, and he had match point.
Yeah, it was definitely tough. So I had to, like I said, just trust my ability to be able to shoot the ball, and just kind of, just stay on track. That was really it.
Wow. Well, that was so impressive to me that even though the shot wasn't falling, you stayed with it and you were able to win that match. I was so impressed with that victory.
Mm.
I mean,
Katerina, yes, sir.
You were impressed just as much as I was because obviously being down 10-2 and we're going to 12, I definitely was not supposed to win that match.
Yeah. And you did it twice. You did it twice.
Yes.
So for those of you watching, both of those matches are on YouTube. It's Chris Joubert versus Jay Knight. Watch those matches. That's some great basketball that happened there.
Nice.
Speaking of watching matches, Katerina, you watch all the matches with me. What's your take on this matchup between Chris Lee and Chris J?
I was just thinking about that. This is a tremendous opportunity to see some top-level basketball. Certainly what we have seen in Rimpage, these two players are most serious. They approach their game with utmost seriousness about their own game. And then that shows in the results. So we have not seen them yet play on court. So I'm so excited to see how players with the sort of similar strategies will match up on the day, and how will that match look? Because usually we see people with different styles play. Sometimes we see people with that swing rhythm style play each other, but we have not seen, I don't think, two of this kind of caliber players. So I am very excited to see, because I know they both play the game in their mind as well as on court, and that's impressive.
Chris, Lee, you kind of revealed some of that today, how you're looking more deeply at your opponents and noticing things and tendencies and weaknesses and stuff, and that's something that Chris J also does. So that's going to be interesting. I think probably the most interesting thing here is that the two of you haven't seen each other play yet.
Yes.
And so you're going to have to learn quickly and devise a strategy. Talk a little bit about that, please, if you would. Either one of you.
Yeah, I mean, it's one-on-one, so it's not very much film to go off of. Even though you all tape every single game, but it's like there are much less possessions in a one-on-one game than there are in an actual 48 or 40-minute game. So it's because it's things that are just easier to notice when there are 4 other players on the court. He doesn't like to jump off his left foot as compared to his right foot. He likes to dribble with his left hand, but he doesn't like to finish at the rim with his left hand. So it's just certain things that you could see. But I haven't seen Chris Joubert play, but I mean, Frisco is, we're in Dallas, but Frisco just seems so far away to me. You know what I'm saying? Still, so I haven't had a chance to go out there and play. But you see these tendencies really quickly when people warm up, because when people warm up, they try to get as warm as they can during a one-on-one match, because there's a time limit, for us in the gym or whatever. So they want to warm up from their favorite spots. You're like, oh, he's shooting from there, because you're not going to warm up from places you're uncomfortable at, because that's not comforting for you. So it won't give you the type of confidence you need before a game. So if you see somebody shooting from the free throw line extended on the right side as opposed to the left side. Just small things that you could see, or where they release the ball from, or just things like that. Are they practicing on layups? So it's just just small things like that. It's what I try to hone in, because I'm a defender. So that's just me.
Oh,
Thanks.
okay. Thank you. And Chris J?
Yeah, I mean, same thing that he was saying, obviously playing one-on-one is different than playing 5-on-5. Yes, you can pinpoint, certain things with your opponent, in a one-on-one matchup, but I've come to realize that, even with that, watching guys warm up, and things like that, in-game situations are way different than warm-up. As a player, a pro, I could be warming up for a certain, way of playing, and I get in the game and the defense shows me something different. And so that's where, IQ comes in. That's where, being able to, adjust on the fly comes in, and being able to say, okay, well, I did warm up for this. This is what I worked out for. But my defender is showing me something different. So let me try to, be a little versatile in, showing something different. Let me go to this move, or let me go to this package, or let me do this, to try to counter whatever my defender is showing me. So, like I said, I agree with what he was saying, 100%. 5-on-5 is definitely different than one-on-one. And, a lot of times you just got to see a person in person to really be able to sit down and just, dissect what it is you would have to do, to, compete against that person. But I think this would be a good challenge for both of us. Not have, we haven't seen each other play. We haven't really just been dissecting, each other's game or anything like that. So, coming head to head, on that day is going to be a challenge for both of us, just trying to adjust and, getting things, as good as basketball players as both of us are, you never know what could be, on or off that day. Shots may not be falling that day, so we may have to revert to something else, or, both of us may be having a good day and it just may be a shootout. You never know. So you just have to get to that day and see what happens.
Yeah. And that's why you play the match. Like, we can talk
That's why
about
you play the
stats
game.
and stuff. Yeah. Love it. Well, listen, I'm so excited to see you guys play. This is what the Decus Pro is. This is where you see top level Rimpage athletes compete against each other. So get those tickets. If you have friends and family that haven't bought their tickets yet, rimpage.club/decuspro. They can learn more about the event there. If you have friends and family who have purchased their ticket, we created a group just for them. That's where they will see the matches. So they can join that group. They just need their email that they purchased their ticket with, and we can let them in the group. And it's going down September 9th. September 9th, be ready. Chris Joubert, #1 in Frisco, #4 in the league versus, no, I think you're #5 in the league, and Chris Lee is #4 in the league. So we have #4 and #5 in the league going at it here. Chris Joubert, #1 in Frisco, and Chris Lee, rising star. Who knows where he's going to land. So this is going to be awesome. This is going to be excited. Thank you guys for joining us. And stay healthy.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having me. So, we'll see each other soon on September 9th. So I'm really looking forward to it. So thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're in for a treat. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
All the best
Absolutely.
in the match.
All the best.
Take
Thank
care.
you so much.
Bye.
Thank you.